Yeah. Yeah. He needs like
Speaking
a
of
Maybe
Cal,
solid
I
coach.
cannot believe they fired Wilcox. That's probably the dumbest thing I've ever seen
that
in my
was
life.
so stupid.
We talked about this before the season though, about how Ron Rivera is just kind of like inching his way back into. Like they were gonna blow. He was gonna do something just horrible for no reason, and he did it.
He did it. Sagapolatelli's gone, bro. Gone.
He said he was staying
Yeah.
though. I mean, they fired the coach though, so
Yeah.
that was the
Yeah.
report before they fired.
Got you.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
dude, I feel like I think Oregon's so inevitable for him.
Sagapulatelli. Well,
Him
no,
going
Dante
back to
Moore's
Oregon would be
staying.
hilarious.
What up?
I think
Just
Yeah, Dante Moore's definitely going to go back.
I don't
Who's
know what quarterbacks are going to enter the draft.
None. Just Mendoza,
Retzlaff?
Aller.
Ty Simpson can still stay.
Oh,
Basically, every quarterback can
Yeah.
stay besides Mendoza and
Can Mateer stay?
like Nussmeier. Yeah,
yeah,
Mateer
Material
should
stay.
he
stay.
he should stay, dude.
Yeah, he's horribly inaccurate
I
right
think I
now.
underestimated how good their defense was because Oklahoma's offense is actually like putrid. They're terrible.
I can't wait. I have a good take on Oklahoma / prediction.
All right.
I'm excited to share that.
All right. Should we just do
Yeah,
let's get
let's
into
dive
it.
in. I mean, we
All
can
right.
start the edit with the arch Cal.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna
Yeah,
start with. All
yeah.
right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 18th edition of the Forward Pass Podcast. We've got me and Sam in Sam's basement, recording the pod live together. We've got Caleb Archer in Macon, Georgia. We've got Luke Duska in Ocean City, New Jersey. Are you in Buford, Arch?
I am.
He's in Buford, Georgia. Sorry, in the Mercer hoodie. My bad. So
Respect.
yeah, yeah. Oh wow. Wait, go
Did
show
they
the
make
logo.
the
Show the
playoffs?
logo. That's like
Yeah,
the
they're a
new.
7 seed.
Oh, they got a
It's our
bye.
Sailor
Nice.
Bear. It's our School of Law.
Wow.
Respect.
That's kind of sick.
That's
It's
a
kind of
Yeah,
sweet.
that's a great
Yeah,
purchase.
yeah.
might have to buy a
My
Mercer
my
Yeah.
my
Mercer
sports and
wall.
entertainment law society is going to be selling them. I can put some shameless plugs into the pod. If
Can
anybody
you
wants one,
send the
Dude,
let
link
me
to
know.
you
that?
might have to cop me one of those, and I'll
Yeah, I
Venmo you.
got y'all.
Yeah.
Dude, I would definitely rock the school of law crew neck.
Yeah, it's too easy.
All right, dude, we'll start with we'll do one game recap. And that was Pitt beating Georgia Tech. Big win for the Panthers. How many of you guys got eyes on this game and saw the almost colossal fold Pitt landed?
I watched this entire second half, and if I didn't look at the score, I would have thought Pitt was losing by 1,000 because they looked like the second half was literally not close except for the pick six that Haynes
Yeah,
King
that was
threw.
huge. Dude, Lovelace made a huge. Well, dude, speaking of Pitt, Pitt's three linebackers might be the best trio in the country, honestly. No doubt, they're so good. Biles, the nickel, or that whatever that star they call it, and then Kyle Lewis, and then Lovelace, who made the what's it called, the pick six, and then we got Baines Martinez, the noob. He's making play after play, number 23. So our defense looks great, but yeah, Arch, yeah, we almost gave that game right away. But when you go up 28 nothing, it's really hard to lose football games. So
Well, until South Carolina.
yeah.
Too soon.
This had South Carolina A&M written all over it, especially in the second half. Um,
Yeah.
but kind of like what we were talking about in the Pitt Notre Dame game, like how everything possibly went wrong for Pitt. I felt like everything that could have possibly went right for Pitt in the first half of that first quarter of that game went right for Pitt. And then also the fake punt by Narduzzi in the fourth quarter. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Oh, to Biles.
Yeah,
Oh, he
definitely
held.
That
questionable.
was
Yeah.
a horrible play call.
I texted y'all.
The
I don't
look wasn't
understand
very
what
good.
I don't understand. I think he might have gotten it if he doesn't slip. Maybe. I just don't understand what the punt. You gave him a shorter field, and the offense is already churn. I don't. If you're gonna fake punt, you might as well just go for it. In my opinion,
Yeah,
I didn't understand that at all. And Georgia Tech was obviously ready. They were they had the full punt. I don't get that at all.
yeah. No,
Didn't make much sense.
that wasn't a great call. But Haynes King in the second half, dude, Haynes King's so good. That we'll get into the Georgia Tech game, but Georgia Tech's just gonna need the Haynes King miracle game in Atlanta. You're not seeing that?
Yeah, I mean, I can hop in with Georgia Tech analysis here. It's very cogent. Georgia Tech is averaging 215 rushing yards a game this year, good for 5.75 yards a carry. Pitt held them to 121 rushing yards on 3.7 yards a carry. So, I mean, it's the Georgia Tech, the supporting cast around Haynes King. I mean, that's sort of the reason that they've been struggling the last few weeks, and this one feels a little inevitable.
Yeah.
Arch has been talking about it a lot too. How Georgia Tech's been on fraud watch for most of the year, and when they can't run the ball and successfully achieve the one thing they're good at, then that's where you see a game like this where they were just kind of getting dominated physically. Like Pitt was pretty impressive, like tackling on the perimeter, up front against a Georgia Tech team that's been able to run the ball pretty well against every team they played. So
Yeah.
I think it was really impressive by Pitt. And then Mason Heinschel's kind of just electric and gives them a lot on offense.
Yeah, I got two things. One, um, you talk about the Eric Singleton Jr., Georgia Tech's receiver who went to Auburn in the portal this year. You talk about just a no-win, like oh lose-lose. Like Eric Singleton Jr. goes to a worse team and gets way, and he's the wide receiver 3, and then Georgia Tech like sorely misses some explosiveness out of the receiver room. So just a bad decision there. And then the only thing about Pitt is we'll get into this in the Pitt Miami preview, but dude, Heinzel's been sacked like 29 times this year. And the only Pitt offensive lineman that like kind of pops to me is number 70, Ryan Breer. And he had that one run where like, dude, he actually takes the edge and slams him from the C gap to the A gap, and that was really sick. And that's how we won the game. That was the dagger. But yeah, we struggle protecting, but we do run the rock.
I think back to that, I just wanted to because I highlighted that too. The like the dagger run by what's the running back's name?
Oh, dude, his name is Turner. It's wait, let me get his actual name because it's a
True
fabulous
freshman as
it's a
well.
it's a fabulous name. It's Jakirian Turner.
Yeah, so that was just a tight zone crease. Like they just ran it right up the middle of the defense. Um, and you talk about Ryan Baer, the right tackle, or I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but it's spelled Baer. So
Oh, is it not Breer?
I don't know. I could be wrong, but
That's what I read.
whatever. Either way, number 70. They're at midfield, and there's a Sam blitz coming from the field. So great job recognizing the the how the end was aligned and his demeanor and his stance and recognizing that he was going to try and cross his face. And that's we call that like ripping the sink off the wall of the defender. So when you know that an end is going to reduce across your face because there's pressure coming from the gap he's in, so there's pressure coming to the C gap from the Sam from the field. You know that the end's going to cross his face. You basically just use his momentum against him, call it like ripping the sink off the wall. So you like take 2 steps and then just grab him and like take all his momentum inside. And you saw that. Well, you saw like an exaggerated version of that when Bear pulled that off. So that was pretty cool to see and definitely stood out. And
And
I mean that was the dagger run of the game too. It popped for
dude,
50
Turner,
yards.
he runs the rock, dude.
Yeah.
He
21 carries for 200 yards.
he runs the rock. And dude,
He's like low key better than
he's a
not better than
better
Des
he's a
Reed,
better
better in
pure
between the
runner.
tackles.
Yeah, definitely a better pure runner than than
Like in a game like this against GT where you were up big and kind of had to chew clock and just control the ground game, like he was better for the game script, in my opinion, after the first quarter than Des Reed would have been. Also, like Des Reed didn't do all that much against Notre Dame.
yeah.
It
And
would be interesting to see how the run offense is able to handle Miami's front.
I think also good bounce back for the Dews Crews.
This is the most Narduzzi. We talked about this at the beginning of the year. Anytime like he gets bad media coverage for like what he said or like how pitch shows up, and the next week they're back to New York Narduzzi does well. So
nothing like
It's
the
like
Duke Crews with
it's like after Charlie Mill seriously considered hopping off the Dews Crews and then Pitt responded by going 6-1 in the ACC.
exactly, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever the water is leaking onto the boat, like they find a way to get it out.
They
Like
cleaned the poop deck.
yeah, literally, like they all hands on deck. People man the ship. So, Art, you got anything else on this game, or should we move on?
No, I was just gonna say, I think, well, obviously, like hindsight, I would like to have seen how this game goes if Georgia Tech scores on that goal line series
Hmm.
and how Pitt responds instead of that pick. Because the pick six, it was like it was over at that point. Like Georgia Tech could have made it a little more competitive. But I think if they scored, it would have been tied or
It would have made it a
28,
one-score game,
21.
right?
yeah, and it
Yeah.
I
would have
think it was
gotten
28,
really
21 at that point.
No, the
or
pick.
something. But
I thought it was 28-14, and then
I think
Then
it
it
was to
went
go down
35-14.
one.
And
Yeah.
then they got it to 35-28 at the
Okay.
end. Yeah.
Yeah. I would have liked to see how that, because I think that would have been a very uncomfortable fourth quarter for Pitt, like in a loud Tech environment like that, finally having some life. But I mean, that throw was pretty unfortunate. Like, I don't think it ever had a chance to do anything good, but he was also pressured. So,
Yeah, I kind of did like a little like a kind of a an analysis on that play. Like they were just running 5-man protection. We call it three scat. So like the back isn't in protection. Like he's to the left, like three odd number. He's to the left out in the flat, and then also the tight end was part of the pass concept. They were running cook, which is corner hook, with the tight end and the receiver, and like they were just 5 for 5. And there were 7 guys on the line of scrimmage, and they set the protection the wrong way. And like I mean, you think like, all right, we're gonna set the protection here, and they could those guys don't come, and so another instance of technically it wasn't a sim pressure because it was 5 guys, but just they couldn't get 5 for 5 on that Georgia Tech, and then off the edge, I think it was Baines Marquez was just unblocked off the edge, and he rushed that, and he rushed Haynes King, so that was actually wizard defense from the dudes. I don't know who's Pitt's defensive coordinator. I know Narduzzi runs like the defense, but.
I don't know.
That's a great call by
there
him.
was also a third down early on. They just ran like a simple TE stunt. I think his name's Kyle Lewis. He got a
Oh,
sack off
oh,
that too. So
when he rammed into the tackle and then made
yeah,
a sack, yeah, that was sick.
yeah. So I mean, they're just moving the D line around,
Yeah.
wreaking
His name is
havoc on the
Randy.
Georgia Tech O line.
Randy Bates. Okay, here we go, Randy.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that was also okay. Hypothetical, guys. Before we move on, so like, okay, so Georgia Tech and Pitt, like, they're both like upper echelon ACC teams. Like, I think Georgia Tech's 9-1 or
9-2
nine
now.
and two, and Pitt's 8-3. Like, what are both of these teams' records if you put them in like any of the other 3 conferences? Specifically the Big Ten and big SEC, like what are their records?
I think whatever Mississippi State's record is, worse than that.
Yeah, I think they'd be 5-7, like South Carolina is, or Mississippi
Yeah.
State. Those like that, like South Carolina, Mississippi State, Kentucky, like
yeah.
in that
Either-
realm of
Do either of these teams beat South Carolina?
no.
I think no.
Dude, what would be the spread on that game? Like probably a touchdown.
On SC and Georgia Tech?
If we're favored against Clemson,
if
you'd be
it's-
favored against Ole Miss.
If it's at Columbia, it's got to be like a 6.5 point spread.
6.5 at minimum.
Yeah.
And then let's do the same hypothetical. Do either of them beat Mississippi State?
At Starkville, hell no. In
I would
Pitt,
say
maybe.
yes. Mississippi State's defense is like
So
Tech
are,
and Pitt would,
so are their defenses,
They're
though.
only
yeah,
Well, their
but
Tech
Tech and Pitt
defense.
would put up
plus
like
6
50.
against Ole Miss.
I mean, Mississippi State is still, you're seeing like their defense just get worked by SEC offenses, though. Like if you put Mississippi
Yeah.
State defense in the ACC, like what are we seeing from them?
You're also seeing them put up damn near 40 points against Texas. Like,
They would cook Georgia
yeah.
Tech.
Do we think Georgia Tech or Pitt are putting up 40 points?
No, but I do. No, but also the credit I'll give Pitt is I do think they have like a real defense. Like they tackle really well and like they play real defense. And then the one thing about Georgia Tech, like the one SEC part of their program is like they have Haynes King, who's a really good quarterback.
And then
Yeah,
the last
Tech's
one's
defense is
Kentucky.
horrible.
Like, how about either of these two teams versus Kentucky? At least tight spread if they are favored.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Kentucky is just plagued by that quarterback being horrible.
Yeah.
What's his name, March?
Cutter Boley.
Yeah.
He isn't as bad as Calzada was, but like,
Okay,
Calzada
He's got
was-
the money that he's flexing on.
yeah. Hey, Garrett. It's a great video.
Okay. So we're done with this game, but
Great win, Pitt. Let's get the job done this week.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Okay. We can do one of these 2 games or none. I did some BYU Cincy and then Utah Kansas State stuff. Do we want to hit any of that?
I have no interest in talking BYU Cincy. That game stunk.
It did.
I
stink.
just want to say
LJ
I had
Morton.
Kansas State was my super dog, and it's just unbelievable that they didn't win that game. But
Dude,
I mean,
how about Utah Bird Ficklin, that quarterback, that just the freshman who comes in like the red zone package? He might have something. It's a shame Whittingham's gone because I wonder how much of their roster they retain. But like the future of if they can retain Bird Ficklin, the future in Utah could look bright. Does Dan Pierre have another year too?
Uh,
They
he
might just
could.
sign Ficklin next year.
Yeah. He could. He's only Dan Pierce's only 21 years old.
He probably does then.
Yeah,
Oh,
he'll have another year at least.
but that I think this is the most entertaining football game of the week because Utah got okay. Wait, who for those who are haven't been on the dock, who is like looking at the dock right now?
I just opened it since you said that.
Okay, don't look at the set. What do you think? How much rushing yards do you think Utah gave up?
Oh,
Yeah,
it was like 470,
350.
right?
350 yards?
No, it was like
Yeah.
470 something.
Dude, 472 rush yards.
Yeah, I mean,
472? Like, dude, that's why Utah's unserious as like a
so
playoff
we
team.
should immediately eliminate them from playoff
Dude,
contention.
like, why are they so high on this list? Like, why is Utah
They
at
should not
12?
be anymore.
Why are they
Yeah,
at 12?
Dude, there's too
In what
many.
world are they more qualified than Vanderbilt? In what world?
Dude,
no.
there's too many people. There's too many teams that can get into the playoff this year.
That's what I'm saying. Like, are they really more qualified than Vanderbilt? I don't want Vandy to make it either, but I'm just saying, like,
There's going to be a lot of teams up in arms when they don't make it.
saying
But
disagree.
Utah should not be one of them.
Yeah, Utah should definitely
Yeah,
not be in this thing.
but I've seen enough now.
Yeah, definitely.
You, they've also lost to the two Big 12 teams directly in front of them.
Yep.
So there's no reason they should ever be considered in the top 12.
But they're right here. Like they're
I
at
think they'll
12.
fall this week. Like they have to fall below Miami and Vandy.
You would hope, but this is also an irrational committee.
And like Texas.
Right?
Yeah.
Is 9-3 Texas is a little 8-3 Texas is okay. Actually, I don't know if I can make the Texas argument.
I can.
9-3 Texas with a win over A&M,
Oh, I'm saying if
Oklahoma.
they no. I'm saying if they win. I'm saying if they win for sure. But at this very moment,
Oh,
can you
oh.
make the argument that Texas
No,
should
no,
be
no.
over Utah?
No, but I think they have a strong argument if they win this week.
Do you
Oh,
think
they should.
Do you think
That's
BYU, if they get spanked again, is it still in?
They
no.
lose the Big 12. I think the Big 12 champ should make it and nobody else should.
Agreed.
Or I guess Texas Tech, if they lose to BYU, should make it. But
Oh,
they should be
artifact.
like the 11th seed if they do.
Dude, I wanted to give the one thing about the BYU game that game did stink, and LJ Martin had 222 yards. But Kalani Sitake took the program over in 2015. In 4 of the last 6 seasons now, they've had double-digit wins. So they're one of the better programs in the Big 12. Just wanted to shout them out, but they should not be in the playoff unless they beat Texas Tech.
Yeah. Underrated squad.
But then does Texas Tech also make it?
That's where the debate is.
Yeah.
If what happens? If
If
Texas
Texas
Tech
Tech
loses,
loses to BYU in the Big 12 championship, do they make it?
they'll make it.
They're gonna make it. If like Texas wins and Texas Tech makes it over them after losing the Big 12 championship, like I would rather have Texas in that tournament than
Texas
Texas
Tech?
Tech. Yeah. If they lose to
What about
BYU,
a
because
10 and 2? But dude,
I don't
what
think
about 10 and 2
BYU
Vandy?
Texas
compared to
is
these
ahead.
teams, I don't think BYU's that good.
I
So if
agree.
Texas Tech loses to them, like they probably shouldn't be in the playoffs after losing to Arizona State and BYU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. Yeah, I'm with that.
I don't know.
He's kind of screwed here.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, they did not help themselves out.
Lose scenarios
Yeah.
for the committee
Yeah.
all over the place.
The committee.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just. I don't know. This would be like the perfect year to do 10 teams. I feel like 11 and 12, you could have like 10 teams make an argument, and I don't trust the senile men of the committee to choose the best two.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on. Let's move on completely, and let's go to previews for this week. Because
Wait. I want to give my Oklahoma take.
give it. I'm
right.
with it.
All right. So good win over Missouri. Defense, well, absolute sicko slugfest defensively. Like there was no offense to be heard of in this game. And here's how I feel about Oklahoma at this point in the season. So you can't deny their defense is unbelievable. and they could stop damn near any team. But they're frisk. They're I don't think they're a serious contender because of their offense, but they're very frisky because their defense can basically stop any team, like I was saying. But they have extremely explosive players on offense, including Mateer. Obviously, they can use him in the run game, and then
Isaiah Satania.
yeah, and then Isaiah Satania is the one. Even just like PBR, like he could take over a game like you saw against Alabama. Um, so with Mateer and with him probably getting healthier as they transition into the playoffs, I think that makes the offense a little friskier, but against some of the higher quality teams, there's a chance their offense just gets completely shut down. Like they haven't been able to run the ball all year. That's going to be a consistent theme based off the level of competition they're about to experience if they do make the playoffs. But I do think because of how good their defense is and because of the explosive ability, I think they're gonna. I mean, this isn't like a crazy hot take. I'm not predicting them to win the national championship, but I think that they're gonna win their first two games and knock off one of the top four seeds just because I think they're just gonna shut one of the teams down defensively. Like in that quarterfinal round against one of the teams that got a bye, I think they're just gonna shut them down on defense and then just find a way to make enough plays to win a game. And then I think they'll probably get like blown out in a semifinal situation. But I'm predicting Oklahoma to win their first two games in the playoff and then in that case knock off a top four seed.
Which would be an ultimate success for Brent Venables, and that would be huge for the Oklahoma football program. I actually heard Colin Coward say something the other day, and I thought it was good. He said that actually when like you look at Texas and Oklahoma is the team that profiles like an SEC team, and they actually have like a real SEC identity as opposed to like what is Texas? Like they're like half Big 12, half SEC with like SEC caliber players, but the identity of like a Big 12 team. Where you like don't know what you're getting week to week out of the squad, and like they do have to score a lot of points like to win games, like as opposed to like Oklahoma, like the offense is far less explosive, especially with Mateer out, but you actually have like the maybe the best defense in the SEC, which is really cool, and that's just funny how it kind of flipped because when Lincoln Riley was at Oklahoma, you would think, okay, Oklahoma is like the quintessential Big 12 team, like literally just outscore teams, get in 100-yard dash sprints. But and then Texas was more of like the athlete, bigger SEC profile team, and it's definitely flipped on its head on which what those teams both entered the SEC, and Oklahoma's has more of an SEC identity, and I just think that's kind of crazy a little bit.
Well, you're going to take on the identity of your coach. And I mean, Venables is a kind of a psycho. So, like, you can kind of see that
Dude, he's
in the
getting
way
more
Oklahoma
jacked.
plays on
He's
defense.
jacked.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, the
And like,
guy's
you're
been in the
gonna,
weight room.
I mean, give me that culture over Sark's a good coach, but like that, like when you have an edge, like Venables gives your team, like I'll take that all day. And then you just got to find a way on offense. And you should also flush the result of the Red River game because like that was like Mateer's first game back. Like I don't think there was a lot expected of them offensively in that game. So
My only like down, like I agree about Oklahoma's defense, but like they still haven't like shut like necessarily taken over. I guess Bama, but like even against Tennessee and Ole Miss, like Tennessee and Ole Miss both scored a lot on them. That'd be my only fear is like, is their defense able to scale up to A&M or Georgia? I'm just thinking who they would play in the next round. Like, yeah, it's probably gonna be A&M, Georgia, Indiana. Like, is their defense able going to be able to show up in that game versus like how they're able to show up against Mizzou and South Carolina and these like a lot less high octane Auburn type offenses. So that would be my only down on them. But I agree with you. Like, Arch, if you're Georgia, would you rather play Ole Miss or Oklahoma
I'd probably say Oklahoma.
in like Phoenix?
Uh, I don't know. I think Oklahoma simply because you know that I like don't think their offense. But I think I would honestly say, I think I would say Ole Miss. I'm going to change my answer and say Ole Miss. because Oklahoma's defense is going to show up. Ole Miss's offense, I think you'd have an easier time shutting down than you would having like high success against an Oklahoma defense. And also, when you play Oklahoma, like the margins get so much smaller when you're playing like a really good defense. Like one turnover can like ruin you if you play like a worse defense
And
or a better defense.
Georgia would also just have their way with the Ole Miss defense again.
Yeah,
I
we
think
probably
that,
put up
yeah,
50 this time.
yeah. And also, I think I want to also add a addendum to this take. If it ends up being Georgia that Oklahoma plays, completely null. And I don't think that I think Georgia profiles too strongly like in opposition to Oklahoma. Like I think they have too many guys that would kind of prevent everything from what I was just saying from
They're
happening.
too
But
Georgia's too balanced. Like if you look at the most impressive wins for Oklahoma's defense, it was Michigan who at that point could not throw the ball, and then Alabama who cannot run the ball. And so whenever you're one dimensional, it's going to be really hard to beat Oklahoma on especially their defense. But I think a balanced offense like even Ole Miss is a couple bad turnovers in their territory in Oklahoma territory away from like kind of and winning that football game and then Georgia like they're just far too balanced. Like I could see I in that game you're gonna have to probably get to 28 points and like I don't know if Oklahoma's offense like is even capable of that.
I think they could. I mean, they could get into a knockdown drag out with like A&M,
Yes,
Yeah.
Indiana.
yes,
Like
yes.
I think
those
they could
top
beat
four
it. I
seeds that
think
are
I would
good.
pick them to beat Indiana.
That's what I'm
Really,
saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Indiana
I think
struggled
that
running the ball against Penn State, which is concerning.
Yeah. I just can't get the picture of them against Penn State out of my head. Like Penn State, like imposing their will in that second half. Like, and
and
if Penn State can do that, like,
Indiana hasn't looked like the
I
last.
know there's a head-to-head victory, but I think Oregon's better than Indiana as well, just based off the recent trends. Like I'm not saying they should be ranked ahead of them or anything like that. Like they did lose a head-to-head at home, but I think if they played again neutral field, I just like Oregon in that matchup based off what they've
Dude,
done the last few
you know
weeks.
why you know why you like Oregon in that matchup?
Why?
I know exactly why you like Oregon in that matchup. Their last couple games running the football. 179 last week, 179 the week before, 261 against Iowa. Like Oregon's found their identity, which what's Indiana's identity right now?
And the other thing with Oregon is like they're
Yeah, they
banged
won
up
two
still.
punch.
Like it's a short-handed offense. Like they had O-line injuries this week. They've been missing receivers all season, and like they're still consistently producing the damn near 200 rushing yard performance. And it's so balanced because what USC would at some point, Oregon just pounded so many gap schemes down their throat that USC tried to stack the box and play the run. And then that's when you just pull it, get the ball on the perimeter, pull it, get the ball
Sadiq.
vertical to
That's
Kenyon
when the
Sadiq.
tight end's
Yeah.
just running out the
Yeah.
seam.
Like they're finding it on offense right now. And like that's based off last year's trend where Ohio State, you saw the offense really find their groove and like they could score against anyone at once they got to the point they did in the playoff. I think or for me, Oregon's similar trajectory with the way they've been finding it. And I mean it kind of started after that Indiana game.
Yeah. All right. Do you guys want to do some previews here?
Let's do it.
All right. So, dude, the week 14 slate, the week 13 slate, not the best, not the best. The week 14 slate is so juicy. So on Thursday, Thanksgiving, you get a little, it's not even an appetizer, it's like an edamame. You get some with some good salt, some
It's
navy.
like wings. It's a great app.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, no. Well, it's not full appetizer because Friday's the full app.
Friday's not an app. It's like the first course.
Oh, okay. So it's
Yeah,
It's advancing
Fridays
appetizer. It's a course
okay.
down.
Friday's a course. Yeah.
Okay, so the appetizer, so the 12 wings, lemon pepper, Navy at Memphis. I'm huge. I'm excited for that one. Okay, so that's the appetizer. Then on Friday, we've got Iowa, Nebraska, if that tickles your fancy, but I will not be tuned in. I'll be tuned into the Egg Bowl, Ole Miss at Mississippi State. Then you've got Georgia playing Georgia Tech at a neutral field because the devil is powerful, and we took that game out of a college campus, which is just too sad. But and then you have Texas A&M at Texas that night on Friday. So that's like your first course. So yeah, look that up. Okay, so then you have Saturday, and Saturday, Oh my goodness. Ohio State at Michigan, Miami at Pitt. There's two like good rivalries, Kentucky at Louisville, and then Clemson, South Carolina. And then the nightcap is Vandy, Tennessee, and Bama, Auburn. Fellas, like get excited for some college football this week. NFL, well, I don't know what you've got this week, but I am not tuned in to what. Maybe I'll tune into the Bills Steeler game, but other than that,
You're not
cannot.
going to watch Eagles Bears on Black Friday?
I will a little.
It's a tough sell for the Eagles right now.
Yeah, honestly, the Eagles they hate playing on
The
this week.
Thanksgiving slate's actually pretty good finally in the NFL. I will give them that.
The Chiefs,
Finally, it's
the
like
Chiefs. Who's the Chiefs playing?
it's Chiefs, Cowboys, Bengals, Ravens, which is big for us, and then Lions, Packers. It's like a pretty good slate actually. Usually there's like some stinkers on
Well,
Thanksgiving.
and at my
And
household,
Joe Burrow might play too, which is cool for
at my household, Navy
NFL
will still
offense.
be on, so that's a moot point. Okay,
I'm
which
gonna
one
I'm
is
gonna house full visuals. There's gonna
who?
be NFL football on the
Oh,
TV.
Haskell.
Unfortunately,
Haskell.
sorry guys.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
you
That's
should have
okay.
heard some of the Eagles takes that got fired off on Sunday.
Oh, dude, probably so casual.
It's like dodging bullets in here.
Dude, I need to buy somebody that like if I had money, I would buy so many Merry Christmas, you filthy casual Josh Pate store things if I had money and just hand them out to like my friends and family. Like dude, my Luke Bowser dude, like you're getting a Merry Christmas you filthy casual for your Penn State.
There's a lot of guys and gals on this planet in the United States of America in particular that think they could be high level play callers in the NFL and high level college football, and
Yes. That's
it's
not the
pretty
case.
funny. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
certainly not the
You
case.
don't know ball.
Yeah.
It is kind of fun coming back home and watching football with like your adult parents and family members who just have the most like, I mean, we should have taken the points there. Dad, it was 4th and 1 at the 30. Like we're gonna go for it. The most
We're
like
down 14 and it's fourth and
take the
1
points
at the 30 in the fourth quarter.
on the road.
They want you to take the points to make it a 2-score game.
Yeah.
All right.
I might try to do a tally of how many times I hear you should take the points here for the rest of the week.
On 4th and 1 when
Take
the
a
Packers go for it this week.
take a play calling tally, like how many play call recommendations there's going to
Yes.
be
Run it
in
left.
whatever
Throw the
household
ball
you're
down the
in.
field.
Yeah.
Should have ran toss on that play.
What are you
Run it-
calling? I don't
run
know.
it.
What are they calling?
Yeah.
Can you break it down? Draw up
Oh,
a
dude.
defense
Oh,
for
wait,
this play?
guys. Hilarious. Did I tell you guys this story? So my Aunt Nancy and my grandpa were like upset at like Penn State. One of their complaints, my Aunt Nancy she was like, Drew Aller, every time he reads the play off his wristband every time. Like, don't you know the offense? And I was like, Aunt Nancy and Papa Don, listen to me really clearly. So actually there's 160 little plays on that thing, and that's how the offense operates. So they signal into Drew Aller, hey, call play 151, and then he reads off play 151. Like he doesn't not know the play. That's actually integral to like the offense succeeding, and he wears it every practice. And like this is how the things run. So he's not just like wearing. Why is he wearing a wristband? Like doesn't he know the offense? Like this
It's a
guy's
magic wristband that tells you what you're supposed to do on every
yeah,
play.
like where the ball's supposed to go. Like, dude. But I was like, listen, guys, so actually never say that again because you sound so dumb. But I was
Speaking of
like,
Penn State really quick, did y'all see Terry Smith rocking the Joe Pa button?
209 Joe?
And then he was like, if somebody asked him, and he was like, I would
That's
all
my
to that
mentor.
guy.
I owe it to him.
Yeah, I'm like, that's just not. And somebody was shaming James Franklin for not incorporating him into the program more. I was like, I think that's probably the best thing he
It
did.
was probably a little too soon for Franklin. It was probably a little too soon to incorporate Joe Pa back in.
yeah.
Like literally like 2 years after it, and they're like they were mad that he didn't embrace the Joe Pa. Like you see,
Are you sure you want to embrace Joe Pa? What does embracing Joe Pa entail?
Probably a little bit too intimate of an embrace.
uh, which game do we want to start with? Do we want to go Ohio State, Michigan?
The game?
Yeah. Let's preview the game. All right. We've got Ohio State, Michigan. This game is being played at the Big House. I think it's the noon kickoff, and the line was at Ohio State minus 10.5. It is now down to Ohio State minus 9.5. So we've got some movement there. To me, The Ohio State team is just a ridiculous profile. They're giving up 7.6 points a game. That is completely ridiculous. So, if Michigan pulls this off, like they are going to be a playoff team, but they are going to need two things. One, timely third down conversions from Bryce Underwood of like 3rd and 6 and 7 and 3rd and 10s where like they complete balls. And thank goodness they have Andrew Marsh now because that's a real weapon at receiver. And Duska, we've talked about him coming on after like week 4 and kind of developing, and that's been a huge get for them. And then, dude, Justice Haynes, we're gonna have to run the rock, and we're gonna have to turn this into a little bit of a rock fight. And I highlighted 4 defensive backs for Michigan. If you're watching the game, you've got cornerback Jair Hill, number 20, cornerback Zeke Berry, number 10, cornerback Elijah Dotson, number 22, who's a true freshman from Belleville, which is the same high school uh, Bryce Underwood went to. So him and Bryce, same high school, both went to Michigan. Pretty cool. And then the nickel, who's really good, TJ Metcalf, number 7. These are the guys that are going to be playing man-to-man coverage for the Michigan Wolverines in the Big House on Saturday, and these guys have to hold up because Jeremiah Smith has 900 yards receiving, and Carnell Tate has 711, and he's averaging 18 yards a catch. So he's just a deep ball threat. And then you have Max Clare as well, pass catcher. Cal Arch.
Mhm.
Purdue.
Purdue, that's where it was. And yeah, and then Bo Jackson came back from retirement, and Bo Jackson, who's their running back number 25, he leads them with 835 rush yards. So, dude, Michigan's gonna have to play some man-to-man coverage, and we will see how they hold up. We'll see how Bryce Underwood looks in his first the game.
Yeah, I've been the Michigan water bearer all year, but I came off that playoff prediction in our when we re-racked and brought out our new 12 team field. The reason is because I just don't think the offense has evolved as much as I thought it would over the course of the season. And they played better. Bryce Underwood's definitely been better overall, but if you look at the quarterback matchup in this game, Julian Sayin has evolved as the season's gone on. And the talk coming out of the Texas game was that Ryan Day and Brian Hartline, the Ohio State staff, they kind of left the kid gloves on for him in that game and didn't ask him to do too much, but he made timely plays and timely throws. And you've seen as the season's gone on, Ohio State hasn't really been tested by anyone, but the offense has been unbelievable and Sayin's progression is noticeable and I think with Underwood, it's a little different. There's hasn't been as much of a rhythm to offense. The defense they've relied on the defense a lot in close games, and they just don't. I can't see a path where they find a way to score enough points to win this game compared to Ohio State. And it is this game's weird. It's a rivalry. Ohio
You don't
State
see
was
any path? No path?
there's okay, yeah, there's a path, but it's like turnover laden. It's Ohio State drops, Ohio State MAs. Like it's a lot of stuff that you wouldn't expect out of this team, I feel like.
Okay, I got something. What if Michigan just like executes a little bit better? This is the same thing last year where it was like they had
I
Davis
know.
Warren playing quarterback and like they just ran the rock. They're
And
way more multiple this year.
it feels risky to say, I mean, for to say all this, but I just think there's too much emphasis on Ohio State not losing this game this year. Like I feel like that wasn't as much of a thing until they lost last year. And like obviously it's dangerous making this prediction with what's happened the last 5 games, but I mean,
Do you root for anybody in this game? Like, do you have a rooting interest? Because I always root for
yeah,
Michigan.
I want Michigan to win.
Yeah, so I'll
I
be rooting
do.
for Michigan.
I hope they win, and I'm gonna take all the credit and none of the I took them out of my second playoff bracket. When we
And
redid
I
it,
told the
yeah,
public there was no
and
path.
I'm gonna take all the credit for predicting them to make the playoff if they win this game, but I just can't see a way how. And I maybe you guys have a different opinion, but I just feels like Ohio State's gonna like they're just I don't know. It just feels like a
Inevitable.
game Ohio State's gonna take over. Yeah.
I think the way that this would go for Michigan is this is going to be Ohio State's first test in a while, like of the blue chip ratio, like actual talent. So my only thing would be if it takes them a while to get used to playing that speed of football again, And like kind of like what happened last year almost with like Michigan just like staying around until Ohio State made their own mistakes, like when Will Howard tossed that horrific interception. I think that's the only way, because I just think Ohio State's better on defense than they were last year. So you're really gonna have you cannot like you're gonna have to take care of the football. Michigan obviously, and they're gonna have to run the ball. Yeah, I think the only way you really have a chance is Ohio State's kind of shocked by or it takes them a while to adjust back to the like the powerful or like the talent that other schools
Arch.
have.
You know,
Mm.
you're describing a phenomenon that football coaches always use, and that is fast start. Michigan,
Yeah.
if they want to have a chance in this game, they have to have a fast start. If they go down 14-0, like Ohio State's going to have supreme confidence, and that's gonna be a tough game to win. But if they come out first drive, maybe they get the football, or they either get a score or a stop, even if it's three on their first drive, like just coming out and saying like we're here, because dude, they're at the big house. There's 100,000 people there. Like you want those people to be in the game, and you want them to have an effect on Ohio State. So you can't do that unless you start fast.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like the way that Michigan has to win this game, it's kind of similar to last year where you kind of need almost everything, all the swing plays in the game to go your way. Like I'm pretty sure Ohio State missed like a 35-yard field goal last year. And that's tend to happen in some of these games. But I think another thing too is just give Michigan needs to find a way to give themselves a chance in the middle of the third quarter. And Pete always talks about this. You guys talk about this too. That like middle portion of the game, the first 6 minutes of the third quarter and the last 6 minutes of the second quarter, like that's where like
The middle eight.
you're gonna play with so much momentum and just feed off the crowd in that first quarter. It's probably gonna be you're gonna feel each other out. It's probably gonna be close. But that once the game settles in there at the end of the second quarter, that's going to be a huge turning point for Michigan. And if they're able to control that, then I do think they'll be able to give themselves a chance coming into the fourth quarter. Another thing too, like we talked about this with Underwood at the Oklahoma game about how he's really not going to be tested all that much between that game and the Ohio State game. And now here we are. I thought that he did a lot of really good things a couple weeks ago against Northwestern outside of the turnovers. I feel like we've seen him progress throughout the year as a passer throughout through their run game evolving as the season goes on. So this is going to be his first real big test since then.
And he got a real
For,
receiver.
for him on the other, like, yes, it's Ohio State's first test, but this is also Underwood's a huge test for him. And is Justice Haynes playing or no?
He's
No,
questionable
he's
on.
out all year.
I don't think it matters if he plays or not. That other kid's really
He's
good
out all
too.
year.
That's what I thought. I thought when he
It's
broke his foot, he
on
was
the
going to be out
score.
all
It says
year.
he's
I mean,
questionable.
Jordan Marshall's been really, really good.
I think yeah, they have good enough backs that like missing Haynes isn't the end of the world.
Yeah, no, they have. Yeah, they always can tote the rock.
Because a lot of the Haynes like pop touchdowns that we saw earlier in the year were just he was untouched.
Hmm.
Red carpet to the end zone. And I mean it would go for 76 yards, but he was untouched.
Yeah.
Also, another like random thing, like I know we were saying this about the fast start, but like, do you think there's any way that Ohio State comes out flat? Like, I just don't see a world that they're not so fired up, especially being on the road too. Like, I just don't see a world that Ohio State comes out flat again this year.
Well, I think Ohio State's defense is going to show up no matter what. Like that's like, dude, being fired up on defense is like we're going to tackle well, we're gonna we're gonna hit hard, like we're gonna do our assignment, like every we're gonna have so much juice. But at the end of the day, like you can't really do that if you're on offense. Like you're still just getting in the huddle,
You gotta
you play
execute.
ball, and you try to
Or
execute.
you
Like
just go
playing
methodically down the
but
field.
I'm saying, yeah, but you're playing a different like I always think like in big games, like Ohio State's defense is like gonna show up. Like that is gonna be that's I'm not worried about that. But when you have to go to the big house and like you can't hear anything, like we'll see how their offense we'll see like if Michigan's defense also has that edge too.
Yeah.
I'm
So
excited. I mean, if Bryce Underwood has a really awesome game and they win, like
that'd be
superstar status. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, I hope Michigan wins, but I'm just
All
not saying
right.
it.
We're gonna go Texas versus Texas A&M. Uh what's the spread on this game? I did
Three and
not
a
write it
half.
down. Three and a
Three and
half
a half.
Texas A&M. We're at we are in home, right?
It's in Austin.
It's in Austin,
At
Texas.
Texas.
So the Marcel versus Arch Reed is kind of a fascinating quarterback matchup. But this is the one statistic that is like super eye-popping for A&M, and it's on their defense. They are 20, they are other teams on third down are 21% against A&M's defense, and that is first in the country. So they're the best third down defense in the country. So if Texas is not balanced and they are in 3rd and 7 all day, it's over. It's over. The game will not go Texas' way. But if they are able to run the football at least effectively enough to where they're in 3rd and manageable, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, Sark can actually call what he wants on 3rd down, then we might see this game get pretty frisky pretty quick. But this Texas offense has been their offense is a bit broken and they have not been able to run the ball very effectively this season, but on a one game sample size at home, a staff such as Sark and then a position group such as the Texas O line or running back room will both. At any of those, at any given day, Texas could run the ball. So just because they haven't been able to run the ball, like doesn't mean they can't. But that's yet to be proven, which is why I'm not as confident in Texas. But I do see that path for them being ahead of the sticks. And also Marcel Reed is. I mean, we saw his game was perfectly encapsulated by the South Carolina game with hit the first half where he just had 3 turnovers, and then the second half where he takes the game over.
Yeah. For me, it's kind of narrative based. There's two reasons I think that Texas is going to win. First, I just home game. That's not the reason, but that's an advantage.
Mhm.
And we've seen so many ups and downs from Texas all year, and we've also seen the potential that they have, especially defensively. And then we've seen Arch Manning get better and better as the weeks have gone by and really progress and just flash in basically every game since the first few where he struggled a bit. And like you were saying, in a one game sample size where there's so much riding on the result of this game, I think a coach like Sark, who we've seen get the job done time in and time out, I think that I think that they come up big offensively in this spot, and then it's just about defense for them. Is the defense going to be able to stop Texas A&M? And I realize this stat can be used against Texas as well, but a coach of mine once said that there's a direct correlation between the amount of times that you score 30 points and the amount of games that you win. So Texas A&M has scored 30 points in their 11 wins. They've scored 30 points over 30 points 10 times. The one game they did not was Auburn. So they won that game 16-10. They were asking to lose that game, but they found a way to win. I think that I'm going to trust that principle, ignore the fact that you can apply it to Texas, and say that they should really only have 11 regular season wins and that Texas should win this game.
Dude,
And I realized
let's shout out the football coach. That
Coach Doug Martin, offensive
Oh,
coordinator of the Elon
oh, I thought
Phoenix.
that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
a Fulmer
yeah.
thing. He does a
No, no,
28
no.
point thing.
Yeah, yeah,
All
no.
right,
This is
well,
yeah. Doug Martin's a
football
30
coach
point guy.
ism.
Yeah. And he alleges that there's a science behind this. So I'm gonna trust that science and say that Texas is able to pull this off.
Yeah, I feel like this is one of those games where like I've had this feeling all week that Texas is going to win with not like a ton of analysis or data behind that. One thing Texas has played really well at home under Sark and especially in the last 3 years. I was just looking this up. They're 19-2 in the past 3 seasons when they're at home. Um, and then also I just think that like their offense has been playing a lot better since I want to say it was the Kentucky game.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Kentucky game. Since then, their offense has been very good. And Arch, even in that Georgia game, I thought showed some flashes of being good. And they obviously got theirs last week against Arkansas, but who really hasn't? So, I mean, there's really not a ton of analysis other than I like Texas in this game. I like them at home. I like them kind of playing for their head coach, Sark coaching for not really his job security necessarily, but the perception around his job security. I think that a win in this game, regardless of if they make the playoffs or not, kind of gives him a little bit more breathing room, versus if they come out flat again and you go 8-4 with this this team that was supposed to be your national championship squad. I think the narrative about Sark in the offseason would be a lot different if they lose this game versus if they win this game, which I don't like when they do that to coaches, but I just think that's how it's going to be, especially at Texas. I also think A&M, like they did get away with one against South Carolina, and I feel like some teams have that's happened to them. They've like Bama did not get away with their loss or with their bad effort against Oklahoma. And I mean, Georgia's gotten away with it a little bit in some of their halves, but A&M got away with one. And I do think that they're going to get got this week. Give me Texas. And yeah, it's Texas. And what's going to make the committee's life hell?
I
Because
also want to go ahead, Sam.
Vandy beats Tennessee.
quickly, if Texas loses this game and they get left out, it's really discourages teams.
Or you mean win?
Sorry, if they win this game and don't make the playoff, it really discourages teams from scheduling big time non-conference games.
I feel like that's the same thing Bama said last year, but Bama's gripe was that, but they also lost to Oklahoma and lost to Vandy. Like, I don't know. I think if
No,
If-
Bama lost 3 SEC games last year.
yeah, but they didn't. Bama said the same thing about like why are people gonna like do the strength of schedule thing? It was because you lost the teams you should have beaten. And for me, if Texas is gonna win it or win against A&M and be 9-3 and get left out, they shouldn't point to their loss to Ohio State. They should point to them getting blown out in the swamp. Like, I think that Ohio State game doesn't really. I think it more boosts their resume because they lost by 7, and for the longest time, people thought Texas was still really good because they only lost to Ohio State by 7 in week 1.
Well,
But that's just me.
okay, I want to defend Sam's argument because if on the flip side, if Miami also doesn't get in, and you're like, whoa, wait, we scheduled Notre Dame and beat them, and then all of a sudden Notre Dame's in and we aren't, and then Texas is like, well, we scheduled Ohio State and lost to the best team in the country, and we're also not in.
no.
But Vandy got to play Georgia Southern and Virginia Tech, and we're like, here's our non-conference, fellas, and like they get in the playoffs. So
There's no world that Vandy gets in above Texas. No chance.
Agreed.
Oh, well, okay, yeah. Well, if Vandy gets left out or Vandy gets in and Texas gets left out, yeah, I think there could be some gripes specifically about that. But my whole thing is, I just don't get the whole I don't know. That's just my take on it, though.
I agree with
'Cause I
what
feel
you're
like
saying
Texas-
about the Florida game, Arch. Like that's
you're right. You're right.
yeah.
You're right.
But-
I also just think like the committee's process is flawed, which is why
Oh, yes.
which is why we're even having this discussion.
Well, it always comes back to that.
Yeah, exactly. Because both of us, I think, are right.
Because yes, Notre Dame is probably better than Miami at this point, but if they both finish 10-2 and Miami doesn't make it in and Notre Dame does, like,
Why did we play that football game?
yeah, what are we doing?
Mhm.
So
I'm glad that I'm not in the committee's hands because I think that I would put Miami in, but I think that Notre Dame is better than them at this point.
agreed.
But
Agreed.
then,
So it's just
yeah,
like
I think they should both be in that case. Then
I think they should both be in over Vandy or somebody else.
We're the G5 team, but we don't
Yeah.
have to open that
I don't
can
know.
of
North
worms.
Texas might be pretty funny in the playoffs or Navy or whoever, but
I think North Texas could scheme up like a good first couple. I don't know. Like, what if North Texas? I could see North Texas hanging around with someone for a half.
if it's North
I
Texas
mean-
versus Texas Tech, I could see them hanging around.
They could. They could
Did you
go-
watch Did you watch North Texas play USF?
Yeah, I did.
yeah.
They were getting zoomed the whole game.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
dude,
that's
you gotta
true.
watch, dude. North Texas looked good against Navy, and Navy also beat USF. So like,
Dude, Navy would also get zoomed by any team they played in the
oh, I
playoffs.
agree. I'm
Sorry.
not saying that, but dude, the G5s are.
I don't think any of the G5 teams are frisky. Like,
Dude,
there's
that's-
no chance.
Okay. All I'm saying, I agree with you. I agree with
and
you.
like-
I'm just defending Sam. Like, dude, they run the air raid, and like they actually have a pretty good back who's probably going to transfer up to an SEC school. Like, dude, you could be frisky for a half.
Their defense is just
Not good. They're
It's
not going
not.
to tackle. They don't tackle well enough to beat any of these teams. But
Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of the G5 offenses are really good,
Yes,
but their defenses are like
they don't tackle.
literally like a P4 running back could just like crease a hole and like get untouched for 70 yards like multiple
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
I think that goes back to a good college football talking point in general. It's for defensive players, the location matters more than where you're going for a coach. Like offensive players are make a selection based off the coach more specifically. And for defensive players, you can have an average defensive coordinator call plays and you're just gonna go to Oklahoma or LSU. You're gonna go to an SEC school and like play big time football games as a blue chip defensive player. So you never really see like defensive studs in G5, but you always see offensive weapons.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, like you could be a 5'8" running back in a G5 and end up making the NFL because like you're just an awesome athlete and like you got
Mhm.
overlooked, but you're not going to be a 5'8" nickel ever. Or like a 5'8" like safety. Like you just can't be that because like you just won't physically be able to tackle and run and cover and rush the passer like you need at to play defense. So yeah, defense is a lot more like, dude, just go be an athlete, please. Like,
One more point about this game too, and this is going to reinforce everything Sam was saying. I think we've had a pretty good feel for picking Texas games all year. Like we knew that they were probably going to lose to Florida. We knew they were going to beat OU. We knew they were going to beat Vandy. Like in those big game situations, I think we've had a good feel for how Texas is going to perform. So that gives me confidence about this game as well.
I just put that up.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I didn't give my prediction. I don't know. I feel like I've been pretty right with Texas this year, but I've also been right with A&M. Something about me just
It's
thinks
not
that
hard to be right with
Texas.
A&M.
Yeah. Well, I think, but it's just like part like every bone in my body wants to pick Texas to win this game because if Texas wins this game, then Georgia's going to Atlanta, where we will probably beat Bama and probably be SEC champions for the second
Second straight
straight
year.
year.
Yeah.
But part of me just thinks like I don't know. I think A&M gets it done. Well, I'm gonna pick A&M, but I want Texas to win, and I think they will win. But there's something I don't. It doesn't make any sense. But I just think Texas A&M wins.
hey, since we're on the G5 thing, could I quickly just do like what Navy needs to make the AAC championship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so well, first they have to beat Memphis, and I have a very short game preview. I think the mids do two things very well. Or well, no, they don't. They do two things that you can guarantee. They run the rock. They're first in the country in rushing, and they don't stop the pass. They're almost last in the country stopping the pass. So the question is, do the mids win the turnover battle, or do they have over 2.5 sacks? Those are the key points where they're gonna have to beat Memphis. Okay. Now, this is the AAC championship scenario. Tulane is pretty much winning in. They play Charlotte. All right, Caleb Curtin, work cut
So
out.
they're in.
They're in. Yeah. North Texas is winning in. They play at Temple and they are not favored. Or if they are, it's by a very short
They're
margin.
favored.
By how much?
Against Temple and North Texas is favored by like 18.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're heavy
Oh, I was
favorites.
reading the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a close spread. Never mind. All right, so we need
Let's
either
go
Temple.
Temple though. That'd be a huge
Come
win.
on, Owls. So we need the Owls basically to beat North Texas. And then Navy is in with a win and then a Tulane or North Texas loss. So not they have like a 30% chance of getting in.
The
But
official spread is University of North Texas minus 20.5 at home against Navy. So
what?
we're gonna need a
Temple?
miracle. So
Temple?
yeah. So if you want to make that your super dog for your super dog luck, you should probably do it.
Dude, let's go Owls. Come on, Owls. I'm feeling the Owls. Dude, that's a Casey Keeler spot where like program. That's a program spot. And we've
He's
been
a
Owls.
he's won a lot of football games in the state of Texas.
He has.
True.
He's done that. He's
I'll
done
give
that.
that
Yeah.
to him.
We
He's
got to look
doing
at the
well.
geography of where Sam Houston is relative to Denton, Texas. See
Yeah.
if he's got some home field.
Yeah. Look that up for us. That's actually good. That's good. That's good journalism. Bad journalism by me thinking this was a close spread. Um,
Here's Sam Houston's in Austin.
Sam Houston's in Austin.
I think so.
We got to get on the map here.
But
Sam Houston. I don't
I like Navy to get the job done.
Yeah, I do
It's
too.
210
They just,
miles.
they just
Oh,
need some help.
Yeah, we need a lot of help. We're also 5.5 point underdogs, but that doesn't matter to me. Sam, do you want to go over what you just wrote on this piece of paper?
Yeah. So like this is really fucked. Also, I'm gonna add this too.
Electric podcasting.
So
Okay, well, I'll hold it up for you. Or do you want
so
to?
I just wrote this out. It's like a big playoff hypothetical. And so right now, assuming all of these teams win, Indiana, Alabama, UGA, Ole Miss, Oregon, Texas Tech, North Texas, UVA. That's just your two other automatic bids. Oklahoma and A&M. For all of those, like those are basically locks for the playoff if they win. I also didn't include Ohio State, but if Ohio State, because my scenario has them potentially losing, that's 11 spots locked up, which leaves one spot for a 10-2 Miami with wins over Pitt and Notre Dame, a 10-2 Notre Dame with wins against Pitt, losses against A&M and Miami, an 11-2 BYU with losses to Texas Tech twice and wins over Utah and Cincy, a 9-3 Texas with wins over Vandy, A&M, a 10-2 Vandy with wins over Tennessee, South Carolina, LSU, and Missouri, and then a 10-2 Michigan with a win over Ohio State.
Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan.
Michigan or Texas.
You
What
think
if
Texas jumps Miami and
I
Notre
think
Dame?
they should. I think that solves all of the potential issues the committee has. If I'm thinking like a committee member, it's we can't put Notre Dame in over Miami and Texas just beat the whatever A&M's ranked, the number 3 team in the country. They have a bunch of ranked. They beat another playoff team,
No, but then they'd have
Oklahoma.
to.
Like,
But then Michigan.
but no, Michigan should make it over Texas
Oh, you're
in
saying
this scenario.
Michigan,
Yeah,
and then if Michigan loses to Ohio State, Texas.
Texas.
But
Yeah.
what if Michigan doesn't beat Ohio State? So then you have that last spot between Vandy, UT, BYU, Notre Dame, and Miami.
Dude, it has to be Texas.
Notre Dame.
No, because Ohio State's still going to be in.
That's what I'm saying. But there's still 11.
You can't put Notre Dame in over Miami. They both have to make it if Notre Dame makes it.
You can
Well,
and they
Michigan
will.
would be
And
the-
you can't, but they will.
Also,
That's
the real shame of it all is that UVA makes it in this playoff scenario.
And North Texas. The UVA and North Texas make it in this playoff.
Well, that's interchangeable to the two auto bids.
Let's just hope Pitt
Well-
wins and we don't have to watch UVA in the
If-
playoffs.
Dude,
If
that was
UVA
Pitt's not making
wins-
the ACC championship.
Who plays in the ACC championship?
Well,
if
I
UVA
wrote down the scenarios. So the ACC championship game is this: Virginia is winning in. If they beat Virginia Tech, they're in. SMU is winning in. If they beat Cal, they're in. So the most likely scenario is Virginia versus SMU because they're probably both gonna. Okay.
What a
SMU.
horrendous game.
Well, I've
needs-
seen.
Pitt needs a win plus a UVA or SMU loss, and then Miami needs a win plus both a UVA and SMU loss. So Miami's pretty much done.
No, Miami needs more help. They need their wins boosted too.
Okay, plus stuff we can't predict right now. But so Miami's pretty much out. Pitt just needs a win and the UVA or SMU loss. But
Please, Virginia Tech. Please.
yeah, we need Saga Politelli or the Fighting James Franklins to come out and win a game.
I think our best chance is Virginia Tech.
Yeah,
Yes, I agree. What's the spread?
10. No, it started at 11.5 and it soared down to 9.5.
That might be my
Yeah,
super dog.
Well, I just don't think that even if Virginia makes it, I don't think they're going to make the playoff because I was looking at a power rating and they have SMU like a 7-point favorite over Virginia in an ACC championship on a neutral. So
I think SMU is a lot better than Virginia.
SMU
Yeah.
would dog
Yeah.
Virginia.
Yeah.
Pitt would dog
also
Virginia too.
SMU is they're so just
ACC.
At least you
they're
get Kevin
they're so
Jennings.
uninspiring.
But if they make the playoff again, like that's pretty comical.
Kevin Jennings, 2 playoff bids. That'd be sick. And then just get worked again.
As Charlie likes to call him, Kevin Jenkins.
Ooh, Jenkins.
That's his alter ego. That's the Penn.
It's
That's the guy who
9.
showed up versus Penn State.
That's the guy in the second half versus Clemson last year. Kevin Jenkins.
Yeah.
And the guy versus Miami
Yeah.
this
yeah,
year.
Exactly. I like that. The alter ego.
When he plays well, he's Kevin Jenkins.
Yeah. Yeah, but do you guys know Utah can? I mean, Utah and Arizona State can still make the Big 12 championship.
Yeah, Utah's is you have to have two like 20-point favorites win, but
Well, Utah has to win, BYU has to win, Arizona State has to win, and Texas Tech has to lose. So that could happen.
Jeff Sims he's finding it a little.
Yeah,
Yeah.
running back Sims, RB, one of the RB of the weeks.
uh,
But yeah, so it's probably going to be if Texas Tech beats WVU and BYU beats UCF, then it's that's we're staring down the barrel of that for the Big 10, Big 12 championship game. And um, okay, do we want to do Iron Bowl? Okay. We've got Alabama, Auburn, Sam, or anybody. What are your guys' thoughts on this game? Okay. Duska or Caleb, do you want to lead this?
Mine's
yeah.
short and sweet. I don't think Auburn's good, but the Iron Bowl is a crazy game. I've always been a DeBoer backer though, and I just have to trust that the offense is going to be able to score enough points where this putrid Auburn offense is unable to match that number, and Alabama just find a way to win this game. If not, it's a shame for Kalen DeBoer because the season's been it's been a good season for them, and a lot he killed a lot of the talk surrounding his
Job security.
credibility, yeah, his credibility for being the head coach at Alabama, but it all goes away all the criticism comes back with a loss here. So I'm a DeBoer guy, and I want him to win this game, so I'm gonna back him here.
Yeah, this is such a weird game. I guess like spread wise too.
Yes.
I feel like the more um I guess expectation you put on Auburn, the worse they are. So them being in
A
this
great
game
point.
with a 5-point spread and everybody's like they're gonna do it. This is just a classic Auburn gets beat by like 40.
Yeah.
Like I don't think they're that good. I think their defense is good. The Daniels kid is playing this week since he sat out versus Mercer. He was running from the
Mercer
grind,
was
but
tied after one.
we were winning 14-7 at one point, and then
On the
our
banner.
defense hit the regression monster hit, and then they scored. But I think they're going to have Deuce Knight involved too for Auburn. He was just a running back versus Mercer. He had like 2 80-yard scrambles. I don't know. Like I just don't see a world that Auburn wins this football game. But it is a 5-point spread for a reason. Um, it depends what Bama you get, I think. I think DeBoer's done a pretty bad job over his tenure of like getting them ready for every single game. Like with the letdown spots like last year, Oklahoma and Vandy. If you trot out with one of those efforts, you will lose in Jordan Hare. But if you trot out anything slightly above that, I think you win.
Yeah, if you trot out the Missouri effort, you probably win.
Yeah. I think this is a classic. You don't care how much you win by, you just want to win. But I think if Bama's on, they could really, like I said, the more expectation on Auburn, the worse they do. And a lot of people are expecting good from them this week. So I could definitely see them not doing well at all.
I don't do this, but that people do put faith in the Auburn Tigers. I personally don't. So, but that is just one of my cardinal rules of life is like do not expect much from the Auburn Tigers. And I mean, it's slightly better with Jackson Arnold on the bench, but yeah, I think you guys covered it pretty well.
Yeah, I think it might have been Pate on his show last week was talking about the whole like dark magic shit about Jordan Hare and how it's just Bama fans that put that into motion. Um, but yeah, the spread I think at one point went to like 3.5. At some point, it's back up to 5.5. But I think that in these Super Bowl type games that you're like, this is Auburn's Super Bowl, and I think that the outside factors of this game actually kind of lean towards Auburn and help Auburn. We've yet to really see. I mean, I guess the Georgia game this year, but I feel like Bama. This is the biggest game in DeBoer's tenure, in my opinion. Basically, a playoff game for them. And I'm going to be interested to see what Bama does and how they react if Auburn goes down the field. If Auburn takes the ball and goes down the field and scores, and then Bama goes 3 and out or something. I would like to see how they respond to early adversity in this game. Um, And I think the pucker meter will absolutely be in effect here too. But I don't know. I just feel like this is going to be one of those games that Auburn's playing for Durkin probably for the last time. They've really got behind him. Like you said, Arch, I do think Deuce Knight is going to be part of this game plan. They haven't announced a starter, and I highly doubt they will until whoever trots out for that first snap. A little gamesmanship there. But it's going to be really interesting to see how Bama does with their back against the wall like this. This is the second time this year that they've had their back against the wall when they came into Georgia, and they obviously won that game. So interesting to see. And then what the offseason talk surrounding DeBoer will be if they do lose this game, and how hot his seat will be, and how real those Penn State rumors are. So that'll be another interesting factor in the outcome of this game.
All right, I just want to say something. Just because Jimmy Sexton was in Happy Valley, he represents every college football coach. So it doesn't mean it's to all the Penn State fans that are like, holy
So there
shit.
is merit to the DeBoer.
I know, I'm just saying. He
Sounds
represents
like
every
sounds like Chesney's the
leader in
favorite
the
for Penn
clubhouse.
Yeah.
State. Yeah. Which I saw some
That'd be
Penn
good
State
hire.
fans hating on that on Twitter
Damn.
because they don't want JMU players to transfer into Penn State and they're gonna lose all the
That
guys they have
that
now.
went really well for Indiana.
Yeah, that's a terrible
That went
idea.
horrible
Yeah,
for them.
terrible idea.
Also, like Bob
Well,
Chesney is just he's won at Holy Cross and James Madison, like a team that just transitioned to FBS. Like the guy knows how to build a program and win games. So
Also, the Iron Bowl being at night's pretty cool.
Also, Bob Chesney's a worse coach than James Franklin. Let's just put that out there, though. So good job, Penn State. You got yourself a.
that was the other point they were making. You don't fire James Franklin to hire Bob Chesney, but
I
You
feel like you
wanted to
shouldn't give
fire
you
him.
anyone
don't
hires
fire James Franklin because there's not well, the secret is there's not a lot of coaches that are better than him.
Exactly. What? How about that? What do
But
you know?
we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw Chesney rumored to UCLA too as well.
Yeah, I thought
I don't
that was
know.
more of a done deal than Penn State. I thought that was like the big spot for Chesney was
Oh,
UCLA.
dude.
I just think he's not going to be at JMU next year. They'll probably find some guy that's coached some D3 school and he'll be a legend too.
Yeah. True.
And
True.
I know these coaching hires, like if John Summerall and Bob Chesney both get hired, Summerall to Auburn and Chesney to Penn State, like I know there's times where it doesn't work out, like a Billy Napier, but the thought process behind the hires, they always make sense. And like I feel like looking back and like criticizing hiring like a Billy Napier in general, like I feel like it's unfair sometimes because you find good reasons for the hire when it ends up happening. Like in Chesney's case, like clearly I think James Franklin is a better coach, but you understand why Penn State would go in that direction. And if it
Well,
doesn't work out, like there's other outside factors that impact that, but it's unfair to just criticize
there's
hiring someone in the first place.
There's also great like the military when they're grading the generals on like the decisions they make, they don't look back and see like what happened and then use that to determine whether the decision was right or not. All you do is you look at the information he had at that moment and like if that was the best decision at with the given information that they had. So I just wanted to make that clear about like the especially Billy Napier. Like Billy Napier he's probably one good offensive coordinator hire away from working and like him not calling the plays from the start. Like that's probably he recruited well. He got buy-in from the university. They had some big wins and they weren't consistent enough and that was probably due to his play calling in some facet. So like it wasn't that far off of a miss.
Yeah, and that's a perfect example of like you can't blame the process of hiring Billy Napier. Like
Nope.
there's other situations where like a Hugh Freeze type of hire, like a little more criticism can be put onto a hire like that. But
Mhm.
when you hire a hot shot young coach like John Summerall, like yes, there's a chance it doesn't work out, but you can't. I feel like there's a lot of situations where you can't blame that the process that led to you hiring him.
And I also love how like the G5 or FCS coaches get looked at because like they're also really good football coaches. Like we got to think Kalen DeBoer was coaching at a D3 school not that long ago, winning national championships.
Kurt
So
Signetti.
yeah, Kurt Signetti was coaching at IUP within like a decade ago. So like really good football coaches exist outside the scope of like that's why I don't like the Hugh Freeze hire
Mhm.
because it's like a stale hire. A Bob Chesney hire is like, oh, this guy program winning. Let's see how he does in the big stage. And
Do
like
you, do you think if Bama loses to Auburn, that there's any chance they would fire DeBoer to hire Lane?
that would just be too spicy of a situation. The Lane situation's already spicy enough.
That gets me excited. I kind of would love that, but
I think that would. I actually think that would happen.
You think?
that's if it does
I love
happen,
that for Bama because then
we're
Georgia
clipping
would
that.
be the best in the SEC. If you hire a guy if you fired a guy and then hire, is DeBoer a better coach than Lane? That's how you like have this
He's
like
one
look at
more
it.
as a head coach. He's one more.
Who,
Are you
Lane?
talking about DeBoer is
No,
better than
DeBour.
Lane? That's what
I
I'm
think
Yeah.
saying. So
DeBoer's a better
why would
coach.
you fire a guy that's the worst? Like why would you fire the guy to hire the guy that's
Well, some
worse?
people might not agree with us.
Yeah.
Because Alabama, the expectations at Alabama are out of this world, and
They're Nick Saban, who doesn't.
their fans are they
9-3 2 years in a row with some pretty inexplicable losses is not the standard at Bama.
Yeah.
Like we're also just forgetting that they got blown out by one of the worst teams in the ACC,
They did. Yeah,
that
that's
is
a
true.
terrible
That
loss.
happened.
and then they would, in this hypothetical scenario, have lost to a team that fired their head coach midway through the year and has looked dead all of 2025.
Yeah, true, true. I mean, listen, like I said in the very first podcast we ever did, Nick Saban doesn't exist anymore, and the new Alabama is lives in Athens, Georgia, because the new Nick Saban or the most equivalent to him in any capacity is Kirby Smart. So yeah, people are gonna have to temper their expectations a bit, but the Alabama season is not over yet. But that'd be insane. Do you think Lane's like waiting around to see if like they Bama loses the Iron Bowl? Like, do you think that's what he's doing with this thing?
No,
I don't think
maybe.
Like we don't know, but like
Well, does
that is kind of
DeBoer get
cute.
immediately fired if they lose the Iron Bowl on Saturday?
Maybe. I mean, that athletic director at Bama works quick. Once Nick Saban retired, DeBoer was hired within like a week. So
Also, how about Mike Norvell keeping his job next year? Good
uh,
for him.
Dude, that's literally the thing we were talking about with the Napier thing. If they put out a statement at the end of the season that they're keeping it, it means they're firing you next year.
yeah,
No matter what you do, they're
Dan
firing you.
Pittman, Billy Napier,
Fickell.
Hugh Freeze. Oh yeah, you think Luke Fickell's fired next year?
No, I think that was a pure money move. I don't think they could afford to pay his buyout and then go hire someone
They've
else.
also Wisconsin has had some
I also
two
like
big
that
wins.
Wisconsin did that. They've been balling out. Shout out Wisconsin. I've been hard on them. Shout out Wisconsin for how they played the last few weeks.
Their defense
Shout
is
out.
coming back.
If the
Shout
AD
out
is ever
Badgers.
coming out putting a statement saying that we are fully committed to you, they're not. They're just waiting for next
You're
year.
fully cooked if that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should go ahead and look at the real estate market because you're fired. You're like, I don't understand it.
Yeah. Just be a renter, don't buy a mortgage. Definitely not that.
Yeah.
All right. Do we want to do one more or do you want to end this? Do you want to end it?
What else do you got?
Dude, we could do Egg Bowl. We could do the Peach Bowl. We could do Miami Pitt. We could do
What's
Tech,
the Peach Bowl?
the Georgia Tech.
What's the
Plain
name
old
of that
fashioned
game?
hate.
Yeah, I don't know. I just made up Peach
A
Bowl.
neutral field slop fest? Is that what
yeah,
you're
the
talking
The
about?
real name is clean
The
old
corporate-
fashioned hate.
Oh, the corporate bowl?
Yeah,
That's a good name.
Yeah.
Clean old fashioned hate. The
That's
corporate one
Georgia
is the
Tech's- I
Invesco
don't- that's Georgia Tech's
QQQ
own
Gridiron
fault.
Classic.
Mesco QQQ Gridiron Classic.
The
That's
That's
awesome.
literally that's what the corporate people are trying to name it now.
Invesco Q.
The reason I think we don't have to preview this game is because Georgia Tech played the way they did
Yeah.
on Saturday.
Do we want to do Egg Bowl?
No.
Okay. All I'll say, dude, I do want to. The Lane Kiffin stuff is
I'd
fascinating.
rather talk about Lane Kiffin than talk about
That's what I'm saying. The Lane Kiffin
Yeah.
stuff,
Let's
like,
talk Lane.
dude, Lane, like, what is
he
happening?
loves this.
What is happening?
He loves people talking
does it-
about him.
Do we all think that he's going to LSU?
No,
For now, yeah.
no.
I thought he was
Arch?
going to stay until. Did you guys hear what Saban said on game day on
No.
Saturday? I always thought that. I feel like Saban's probably an integral part of Kiffin's support staff and like who he like meant like as a mentor. And they were all like Herb Street and all the guys were just saying like, oh, like how much greener is the grass, blah 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 blah. And then they're like, Nick, like what do you? And then Saban came on and was like, I understand what you guys are saying, but you also have to think like the last 2 years, Lane has built Ole Miss out of the transfer portal, right? And we've seen from other teams that this is not a sustainable way of having success. And now, like, obviously they've been good the last few years, but when you look at their recruiting class compared to LSU's recruiting class, it's not even close. Like LSU's been a top 5 recruiting class every single year. Pretty sure Ole Miss has been outside of the top 10 in the like mid 15s. So that would be my main thought, like thought of him leaving would be a more steady recruiting basis to then just have continued success. Because we've seen with Norvell, Dion, that this has not worked. It's not sustainable.
Just to
Yeah.
back that up, Ole Miss, I'm on 3 right now. Ole Miss is currently ranked as the 20th recruiting class, and LSU, who no longer has a coach, is 11th.
With no head coach. Will
Yes,
they
and
Lane
Florida's
pops in
third.
there, they go right in the top 5.
Florida is 13th.
Yeah,
My
I mean,
take, my take on the cycle is I don't think a single high name coach should take the LSU job. I
Yeah,
think that place
especially
is
with the
broken
Brian
right
Kelly
now.
stuff now.
Like I think that place is broken. They tried to
They
do the whole
they haven't
fired for
technically
cause
fired him
Kelly.
yet.
Yeah, but they're like the way that they've done it, like what they've done. Clearly, the person who was going to pay the Kelly buyout backed out, and now he doesn't want to pay because now they're trying to do all these loops to that pro. They won by 3 to Western Kentucky on Saturday night in
that was
Death
insane
Valley.
for senior day.
Senior day. That place is sorry about the senior day. Brian Kelly's son with the
I'm about
My
to say
boy. Free my
free
boy.
my boy BK.
like he's dead. It was genuinely one of the funniest things I've ever seen. But LSU is broken. I don't know. Like any coach that takes that, you're writing like a 3 year. You're writing a 3 year like postponement of your next job.
Wait, so
I don't get it.
Brian Kelly, if he doesn't find another job next year, what if he does find another
No,
job?
but
Does
he
that
can't
count towards
interview
the
right
buy?
now because they never technically fired him, apparently.
Yeah, Kelly's attorney put something out that the way that LSU has done this thing, how they're arguing that they never fired him and now they are firing for cause, has made Kelly not be able to go to find another job. And it's making it like impossible for him to work next year, which is the stipulation of his contract. To try, I don't know that that thing is not going to be resolved for a few months. And I don't think that any LSU coach, any like John Summerall is like, I don't think anybody should be licking their chops because
Do you
LSU
think
right
it's
now,
more likely that Summerall goes to Auburn than LSU right now? Then
yeah,
I
I
thought I
think that
think Summerall to
LSU,
Auburn's done.
March,
yeah.
the only contention I'd have to that is the financial commitment from LSU will still be there. And all the benefits that you get from being at a program like that, like those still exist. And if you give Lane Kiffin a certain amount of money that he can go spend on a roster, like he's gonna recruit well, which is the most important thing. And he's gonna be able to put together a class for next year at least that I think they'll still be competitive. I think that those are more like issues with how past leadership has operated there and the last few coaches they've had. I don't think that would I don't if you get the right guy in, I don't think that carries over into a new staff, if that makes sense.
I also feel
Yeah.
like just this was it seems really casual to take it from my end, but like, wouldn't Kiffin's people just make the contract a lot stronger if this is what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then that's like I don't know. My thing is if Kiffin's offered the LSU in the Auburn or LSU in Florida, I'm taking Florida 9 times out of 10 right now. That's just I think LSU, I think people's historic perception of programs is too baked into stuff now. I think LSU is more of a middle of the pack program than a top pack in the SEC now. That's my take. And I think that their job market is kind of reflected on that. Like if you hire Kenny Dillingham, is any LSU coach fired up? Is any LSU fan fired up? No. And that's like that. I think that's more likely than Kiffin right now.
okay,
What
wait.
makes you say that though?
I thought Kenny Dillingham said that he's staying. I also don't think Kenny Dillingham would take the
Every coach will say they're staying and then
What
leave.
makes
Like
you say that that's more likely than Lane going to
I just don't see Lane Kiffin going to LSU. That's just me. I
Source,
think with
my gut.
I think with everything that he's seen and everything that's happened in his past, like if he takes the LSU job, he's learned literally nothing about the last 15 years of his like college coaching career.
Yeah, that would be another thing is him leaving Tennessee for USC would be.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay. Well, okay. What if I laid out the Ole Miss argument? And the Ole Miss argument is like right now they have a top 30 defense in the country, and they're always going to have a top 15 offense. And if they keep pulling the 20th recruiting class and then they keep being elite in the portal like they are, maybe this is the outlier of like a team that's laced with portal talent. Because it's not like they're not recruiting in high school. Like having the 20th high school team is high school is not like poverty, but it's also probably as best Ole Miss can do because what we talk about with getting defensive players there, they don't have the sustainable culture of physicality that defensive players want to go to, like say Florida and LSU can have. But dude, there's something about having success at a spot, and like I wonder how much his family also plays a role into this. Like, do you think like I don't think he's that much of a scumbag. Maybe he is, but I feel like he's grown a lot as a human being, and it's nice. What he has in Oxford right now is pretty nice, and if they go to the playoff this year, it's like, all right, like, can
Then
I?
why hasn't he come out and said I'm staying at Ole Miss?
Dude,
Because I
yeah,
do
it's so
because
easy to do that.
but I'm saying like maybe he doesn't know yet, and that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Like the longer this is drawn out, the more uncertain he is, and also I think like maybe he's just like, dude. I've moved around so much in my entire life. I finally find like my spot, like where my name is equivalent to the university. Like Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss are synonyms right now. And like you finally find that and like the place embraces you and then how good are the options of Florida? Because like the options he has, because like you said, Arch, the LSU, they are not aligned as an organization right now. In Florida, we just saw what can happen in Florida and like you already have a really good program at Ole Miss. So I don't know. I do think that
Dude,
he could stay there. I think he's going to stay at Ole Miss. Am I crazy?
I I just think for the LSU case, and especially with Lane now, with everything that's happened in his past, and people say he's grown a lot, and I'm sure he definitely has grown as a person. Like he's not just making this decision on a whim. Like it's definitely the reason it's probably taking so long is because he's probably still like thinking it
He
out
doesn't
and trying
know.
and weigh all the options.
Yeah.
But I think he also knows, and I mean, you can't get to this level of coaching if you're not the ultimate competitor.
Hmm.
And I think deep down he knows that if the potential classes he'd be able to pull together at LSU or at Florida, like it doesn't compare to that of Ole Miss.
Hmm.
And
You're right.
having to bank on the portal every year to bring in defensive talent, and their defense isn't really that good this year, comparatively. Like
It's top 30.
having to bank, yeah, but my point
Dude,
is like having to
they
having
had two returning starters this year.
having to
Like, this is
bank on the
not
portal to
sustained. You're
put
not going to hit
together
every single time in the portal. You're not going to have some
exactly.
D2 quarterback come be your savior.
But you know what you're going to be able to do at LSU or Florida? You're going to be able to go and get like
The
just
best edge.
stud
The best edge
DBs.
in the country.
Yeah, a
The best
nasty
corner.
edge. Yeah, and then just thoroughbred defensive tackles. Like you're not getting that as much at Ole Miss.
Mhm.
And the ultimate competitor in him, he I think he knows that he's a good enough offensive coach at this point that he can win national championships. And he knows that he can build programs up to be national championship contenders with what he's done at Ole Miss. I think which ultimately leads to I think he would know that having to take the next step and take one of these jobs where he's going to be more resourced and he's going to be able to just put teams together that are more talented. I think he knows that that's the best chance of him getting to the ultimate step and winning a national title. So I think that's why the LSU case and the Florida case is so strong. It's just it's more it's I think it's just more possible there. I think winning a national championship at Ole Miss is it might be harder than winning a national championship at Penn State, honestly.
Yeah. Okay, wait. Question though. Do you think Kyle Whittingham was ever offered like big time jobs outside of Utah?
Yeah,
Yeah. But he stayed. And why do you think he stayed? Knowing he was never going to win a national championship at Utah.
I don't know.
Dude, I think there's something about like, dude, lifestyle, being good, like you like the place, and like sometimes I think that's what Lane Kiffin is like weighing right now. Like, I know that I can be a better national champion. I perennially I can be a national championship at LSU or Florida. But also I know that this could crash and burn and not end up like that.
I think is there something to be said that Lane Kiffin is a better overall, like a better coach and
Schematic
has
coach than
has more potential than Kyle Whittingham? Is that unfair?
no, super fair. No, I was just throwing it out there of like,
That's like the DeBoer. Like DeBoer is a Northwest guy or like a West Coast guy at minimum. He had the perfect gig at Washington, one of the premier locations on the West Coast. But I
but he
think
also
he
doesn't have the
knew.
track record of like
I think he.
Ole
But
Miss's like fuck ups.
I think he knew like deep down he was a good enough scheme coach and good enough culture builder that if he had the opportunity to go to a school like Alabama, that he could accomplish a hell of a lot more than he could at Washington, which at the end of the day is just the reality of college football. And I think Lane, I would say Lane's, we compared them earlier, but I'd say Lane's still that similar caliber of coach. And I feel like his thought process would be similar.
Perry, the movie scene that this reminds me of is like in Miracle when Herb Brooks is looking at the piece of paper, knowing he has to cut Ralph Cox, and he doesn't want to cut Ralph Cox because like he's the 21st name and like he loves coaching Ralph Cox. And I think like I think like he might end up just leaving Ole Miss knowing that like this was such an awesome place, but like you just don't have the ceiling. And I think it's hard to just let go of that. Like I love Ole Miss, I love Oxford, Mississippi, but like I can't recruit the best edge in the country at Oxford, Mississippi, and I can at LSU. And like he's just staring at that piece of paper thinking like, gosh, Ralph Cox, like I don't want to let you go, but like I know I have to.
I think where like this can get really interesting is if they do this whole like post Egg Bowl thing. I think it would still be in Ole Miss's best interest to let him finish out the season.
Dude, I
This
think
is their best chance. Yeah.
yes, ever.
Wait, who
This
was
might
saying
be
it?
it.
Des Howard was saying this on game day when Michigan was really good, their basketball coach left. I forget where exactly it was, say Kentucky hypothetically. And it was the year they ended up winning the tournament after their head coach left after the regular season. Imagine if Kiffin leaves Ole Miss and he doesn't coach and they go on this run.
He gets a ring though, still.
I'm just saying, imagine how insane that would be.
Yeah. Well,
Imagine he wins a national championship as the coach of Ole Miss and then is leaving for LSU.
Or they win the Natty.
but that would kind of be
That
Cinderella.
would be like
I think that's how he wants this to go out. I think he wants to like
this could be part of the negotiation.
yeah, like I think Ole Miss is like I think Lane's like, dude, I love Ole Miss. You know I can't recruit the level of defensive player that I can at LSU and like I'm gonna take that job, but like I love this team and like I wanna dude, we are good enough to like go far in the playoff and like we could get hot at the right time. Like he's a
They are.
competitor, so like I don't know. I think he wants so badly to coach this team in the playoffs. But then you're putting yourself behind the eight ball in like a recruiting class for the high school.
I don't think it matters.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
I mean, I bet a lot of that LSU class that they already like it is the 11th best class right now. I bet a lot of that if Lane is rumored to be the head coach and they want to retain most of the people in that class that they have committed, like
yeah.
why would you not want to play for Lane
There's also a
Kiffin?
later signing day where you could still sign kids. So
Yeah.
They also probably can have people going on the road.
yeah,
As much as how illegal that might be, but I'm sure there's.
that shouldn't be illegal.
Well, there's also people at LSU they're so deep in like the infrastructure of recruiting. Like if Brian Kelly gets fired, they're probably still getting retained there and they're doing whatever their job is in recruiting and that's going to continue on during the transition of coaches.
All right. Well, I think that's where we're going to end this. Guys, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. Happy Thanksgiving from the Forward Path podcast to you. And you're probably our friends or family watching anyway.
We're grateful for you.
We'll probably be with you on Thanksgiving.
Yeah. So we'll tell you in person that we appreciate you. But yeah, this has been fun, guys. Thanks for a great
It's going to be an awesome weekend of football.
Yeah, can't wait. Oh, dude, the next Tuesday's podcast is going
And then we're leading the show with the Lane Kiffin.
Yeah.
Whatever happens.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. This is a great lead in. You should
Unless Georgia loses.
That is not happening.
But yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait. It's just gonna get more spicy as the playoffs. It's the playoff.
I mean, we still have like damn near 2 months of this. So
I know. And we're just
very
getting started.
exciting.
We're just getting started. And for the people that have been listening, like our friends and
Comment
family,
your favorite Thanksgiving dish in the comments if you made it this far.
all right.
Stuffing.
Mashed potatoes, gravy,
Yeah.
lots of gravy.
Yeah. I'm a turkey and mashed potatoes and gravy guy.
Turkey's not a side.
Oh, he said favorite dish.
I said favorite
Uh,
dish.
yeah, isn't that implying side dish?
I mean, how
Or
many
no?
people? How many people's favorite dish in Thanksgiving is turkey?
Low key.
If it's made well,
I think mine.
smoked
I
turkey,
love a good turkey, dude.
smoked,
Smoked or fried turkey is
smoked
Smoked. I'm not fried
every
yet.
day of the week.
I'm saying both are
Oh.
Oh,
unbelievable.
I
Yeah.
like a little ham on the side too.
No.
There's ham.
No, I actually had this debate yesterday of ham versus turkey. I think turkey is
get our
so much
dish over
better.
this.
I
Turkey.
think
It's
I
turkey.
think I think
It's-
turkey as
I
both
think
a
ham
cold cut
stinks.
and turkey as a just a
I
meat you're
agree.
eating is better than ham.
Okay,
They're
I
both
will
solid.
say,
It's a better bird.
I will say,
Or a
we
better,
had,
they're not both
dude,
birds.
we had a work Thanksgiving last week, and my manager was the cook.
Corporate Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and she made this ham. Oh my gosh. Sliced it real thin. And after she cooked it, she dumped this like brown sugar, butter, honey mix. It was insane. It was the best ham I've ever had. But I'm not a ham
That
guy.
was a honey baked ham. Y'all have that up north?
No.
They sell it as
It's like
as lunch meat.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's chip
Yeah,
chop
it's-
ham.
Yeah.
it's like
If you want to put it on a
brown
sandwich, you
sugar
can
and
get it.
honey on a ham and you smoke it, and then it's
Are you a ham or a turkey guy, Arch?
ham. Well, a good turkey is better than a good ham, but it's hard to get a good turkey.
It's true.
But if you get the
Dry turkey
going
is
right-
worse than dry ham, though. I
Yeah.
will say.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
There's-
dry turkey is like
Turkey
you have
has like a
ketchup on
really
there.
small window of excellence
But it can be
greatness.
elite when done well.
when done right.
Yeah.
It's like Ole Miss.
My Uncle
think-
David will have it done at very high level.
I think I'm gonna smoke one for Christmas this year.
Ooh.
A ham
I
or
might have to
turkey?
might have to stop by.
A turkey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Archer household will be accepting guests.
There's nothing. I think smoked turkey is better than like some smoked meat.
Yeah. Smoked turkey just when it's like just juicy and then you add corn,
And
mashed potatoes,
But heinous amount
gravy.
Oh my God. Is the pod still going?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
North Texas coach is expected to become the next. Eric Morris is expected to be the next coach at Oklahoma State.
Oh,
hire.
That's a
good
good-
hire. Great hire.
That's a good hire.
That's
for
a
Is he
good
coaching
pull
the
for
rest
them.
of the year?
I don't know. I just got an
Dude,
ESPN
that's
alert.
crazy for
Such a
North
temple
Texas.
spot now. It's such a temple spot. They're my super dog.
Yeah, they're gonna be so
ET
checked
is my
out.
super dog. Go Pitt.
Dude, that's crazy midweek announcement before like trying
Their
to
biggest-
clinch your
a
spot in a
huge
conference
game.
championship game.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Those guys don't
That's
fuck. Go
yeah,
They're
no, they
Oklahoma
don't.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good for
they're like,
Oklahoma
well,
State.
That would be big if he brings the quarterback with the
Mestamaker.
Oklahoma State.
Estimaker.
Because I thought
I don't
I
think
heard-
Mestamaker will do anything in the Big 12.
I've seen Mestamaker mock to IU.
What have you called him, Arch?
Steven Maker, dude. He throws two like he's not as good as his like that. I don't know.
Is he an air raid guy, just like air raid merchant, in your opinion?
Yeah, I just don't think that he's gonna like.
Dude, that's the Big 12 though.
They're all air raid merchants.
Yeah. How could he not be
well,
good?
Okay, well I don't know why ESPN is lying to me now. It says on 3 says they're zeroing in on him because on zeroing in on hiring.
I just saw a tweet about Jim Knowles interviewing at Oklahoma State.
Oh, he's coming back.
And then Pete Thamel just tweeted.
Maybe that was parody.
Pete Thamel just tweeted North Texas head coach. Oh, he's expected to become the next coach at Oklahoma State. Morris is set to coach out UNT's remaining games, including both a potential American Conference title game and CFP bid. That is
Well, that's a multiple year rebuild anyway for Oklahoma State. So it's probably fine
Oh,
that,
yeah,
that he spends
they're
an
not
extra
gonna, they're not
month.
going to build
Tough
Rome in a
job.
day and still
That's
walk
a
out.
tough job when they're not aligned and in the NIL world as
Nope.
some of the other teams in the Big 12 are. So
But that's a good. I mean,
think
that's
a
probably
good hire by him.
that's a
'cause
good
he's
hire.
been used to
It's a
that
great
his
hire.
entire career.
mhm,
Like he's never had the abundance of resources.
no doubt. No
Did you?
doubt.
We also talked about this. Did you guys see that Franklin's probably going to keep Brent Fry on his staff?
That's like a what linebacker?
I said that. I
Yeah,
said that when he got hired.
Really? That's
yeah.
sick.
I read that he's considering that.
Might
Dude,
have to
My
put
hot
that.
take. My hot take for Virginia Tech's next quarterback is the Western Carolina quarterback that entered the portal, Taryn Dickens.
Dude, that guy's so good. We didn't have to
Yeah,
play
he's-
him. That's why we beat them, but he's unreal.
They might.
He entered the portal on Sunday. He's going to
Yeah.
be James Franklin's next coach in quarterback in Blacksburg.
March, you know that guy.
He got
Sorry,
one
we
game.
got to end the pod, but you know that guy Landon Tengwall.
Yeah, the Penn State guy.
He made a video about like Drew Aller putting his name on that Vandy guy's class action suit to get a 5th year. So that Drew Aller might still be in play, like we
Wait,
were
guys,
saying the
guys,
other
guys.
day.
In January, there is going to be a vote in the NCAA. If you haven't used, if you played 4 years of college football and you have not used your red shirt, that you can get a free 5th year. That is being voted on in January. So a bunch of kids might be getting 5th years.
So there's just no such thing as a red shirt
Yeah,
anymore
they'll
then.
just make you could play
Unless like you have
5 years
a
of college.
medical.
Exactly.
I
And
would
so,
vote. I would vote yes for that.
yeah, you
My
get
whole
5
thing
years.
is, I think the red shirt thing, with the whole this. I think they should just give everybody 5 years, which I think what they're going towards now.
Yeah.
5 years to play football. If you play all 5 years, sure. If you play none of the 5, don't care. You're done. Like,
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, okay. Well, that's what they're voting on. So we might get that, and then Drew Aller would be able to play more football. And we'll see
It should
James.
just be a treat.
Lord knows we need him.
Yeah.
Next
Oh,
Levi.
football's not the same without Drew Aller.
Dude, we always have too much fun on these, and the hour 15 podcast was never in the cards. This is 2 hours.
What did this end up being?
Probably hour 55.
30.
I mean,
Oh,
there was some good
Hour 30.
content on this pod.
What
It is
G5
rough.
school do you think Hour's throwing the football for next year?
Probably James Madison's new, whoever coaches new at James Madison. Because he's
Terry
in, like,
Smith's going to go there and represent Joe Pa.
I'm gonna say
Iowa.
Memphis.
UVA.
Dude, Drew Aller to Iowa seems like
Dude, that almost seems perfect.
right? Drew
Where's he
Aller to
from?
Iowa. That's like what's his name? The
He's
Michigan
from
guy?
Ohio.
And they don't even have to snip his UCL.
No,
Like,
it's
just-
already
it's not
It's already gone.
Yeah. They don't
He's
even have
already
to
not a
perform the
great
surgery.
thrower of the football.
Yeah, dude. So it's like
They don't
the
even have to circumcise it. It's just gone.
yeah, the McCarthy or what was not McCarthy, McNamara. Like McNamara to Iowa, like how perfect was that? Aller to Iowa sounds perfect.
And then ETSU for the 6th
Or
year.
it would be funny if he was at BC.
Ooh. Yeah, that would be a
That
great
would move me. Him with Bill O'Brien.
Wait, can we
That
put BC Syracuse in the pick'em this week?
the toilet
That's a
bowl.
stinker bowl. You know,
BC
where my
smash spot.
resides. BC is a favorite for the first time in like 8 weeks.
Wow. Good on them.
Yeah. I don't know how they aren't after watching Syracuse versus Notre Dame. That was the worst. It was like 35-0 in the first quarter.
Wait, I got something funny to say off air if we want to do that. So
Yeah.
Let's call
we're
it.
good. All right, we'll call it.
All right.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.